As a punishment, the so-called Trianon Treaty was declared, which was signed by the representatives of the Hungarian state on the 4th of June 1920. According to this so-called treaty, the two-thirds of the part of the historical Hungarian state was divided between the newly created states, just like Yugoslavia, Czechoslovakia and Romania, and a territory which was, together with the so-called corporate land, Croatia, 325,000 square kilometers, and without Croatia, 282 square kilometers. This became only 93 kilometers, so the two-thirds part of the territory was totally divided, so to say, stolen by the enemies of Hungary. As far as the inhabitants are concerned, the 20 million inhabitants of the old country remained, not quite 8 millions, and every third citizen of the old Hungarian state became citizen of foreign so-called new states, foreigners of states and citizens, the so-called Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia and Romania. With the Trianon Treaty, Hungary has lost the greatest part of the mines, of their fields, the railway stations, the railway lines, greater part, I mean more than 80% of the whole railway system of the country, and quite great amount of national values became properties of foreign lands all around the country. The borders of Hungary became the new borders, so-called Trianon borders, but by the way, and by now, we have to even call them Paris borders, because the Trianon Treaty lost its accordance by the end of the Second World War. In 1947, the 3rd of February 1947, the Paris Pact, so to say Paris Treaty Pact, determined the borders of Hungary, and the present-day borders, the actual borders of Hungary, was laid in this Paris Treaty Pact in 1947. And if we think of the so-called Trianon borders, which are not quite really borders of injustice, but they are the borders of violence, terror, and everything which is evil in mankind's history, we always have to think of the fact that this so-called treaty was really an attempt to murder of a nation. And there is a great Hungarian poet named Juhász Gyula, and he has got a poem called Trianon, and in the very end, in the reference of this poem, he emphasizes the fact that we do not think very often, we do not speak very often, we do not call very often the so-called Trianon Treaty. We do not speak too much about Trianon, but we always, without any pause, without any break, think of Trianon, because we cannot forget it, and I'm quite sure that we shall not forget it, never, and we always will not only think of it, but we never wanted to regret it anyway.